Greetings. Test, test. Can everyone see and hear me? Hello, hello. I see Mario and Ash, and also Silent and Stream Elements. Good afternoon, or good evening. Wonderful. Is it just you three today? That's fine. We'll have us a good time with hopefully the rest of chapter 2. Back into it. If we do manage to get through the rest of chapter 2 and I have the willpower to go on, I might switch to drawing or something instead, and I'll pop back in. But I feel like if there's anything that can be said about my Fata Morgana readings, it's that they're not comfy, but I'm glad if you are comfortable here. I'm glad if you can be cozy. I suppose as a brief recap of what we have seen so far in chapter 2, we've met the beast, and we've met the white-haired girl, some reincarnation of her. Oh, not a problem. It will be there for whenever you want to visit. No, it's the chapter is, as I mentioned, it's quite violent, and so I have prepared my, where is it? I've prepared my tachiri kinshi 大変ご迷惑をかけております sign should it be necessary to put up, which I'm sure it won't be, maybe, but you know, always good to be prepared. We've also met Pauline and Javi, who is a young boy from the village, and Pauline is looking for her beloved, which by the way is the name of this chapter, who is a merchant who we met earlier. No, I'm sure we'll be seeing him again. Are you giving the chat a warning? It's alright, I'm sure there's only like 5 people here. You guys know you're... Actually no, I shouldn't say that. You don't know what you're getting into yet. Unless you've played this. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Naughty. Anyway, since we're with Pauline's memories at the moment, can see how things go for her. Seems to be a flashback, so. Is the volume and all well? Well, that's good. We met 3 years ago. I thought for sure I would get burnt, sitting beneath the hellishly pounding sun on that sweltering summer day. It's only ever on days such as those that we end up having lunch outside. Not just out of the house, literally outside. The heat was searing. I could hear the cry of seagulls from the restaurant's terrace. I remember that day as clear as crystal. Yes, I have to say the food here is spectacular. And I love that they give you so much meat. Though I thought my gut would explode the first time I saw it. Wouldn't you say, son? Indeed. Yes, it is. By the look on your face, I'd say you're already feeling it.
You're not going to make it in this line of work without a big old stomach, son. I'm a huge fan of this country's food. One taste and you never forget it. I'd like to bring the entire cuisine back with me if I could.
This is the first time we've seen you in how long, and you're talking about food? And the first thing you asked when you arrived was, is the restaurant by the seaside still open, for goodness sake? Is your heart made of stone?
What? Would you prefer we discuss the mundane? Why don't we talk about market developments and our spices inventory?
That's not what I meant. It's hot. My parents' relationship is on thin ice, but the air feels like it's on fire. It's much too hot. My dad loves the seaside restaurant. It actually specializes in fish, but he always asks for meat. Though always isn't very often. He's out of the country most of the time, so we rarely eat together as a family. For that reason, I can usually put up with little heat for a family gathering. Today, however, is awkward.
Go on, son. Dig in. You can't find food this good back home. As you say.
Every course, the table is lined with meat, meat, meat. Even I'm starting to feel heavy in the gut. At this rate, I might turn into meat myself. Kind of meat would I turn into, though? I guess beef, maybe, if the meal keeps on like this.
Just how much food are you planning to order? I can't believe you. Why did I ever marry you? Come now, we're out as a family. You could stand to be a little more pleasant.
And who do you think is making me unpleasant? No.
No.
From time to time, our eyes meet. But every time they do, we both avert our gaze. This goes on throughout the meal. My father invited him to lunch. Dad introduced him as his right hand, so I assume he's also a trader. His eyes are somewhat narrow, his posture perfectly upright. He looks very no-nonsense and not especially affable. Frankly, he kind of scares me. Hey, Dad? Are we going anywhere after lunch? I figured since we're all together, maybe we could take a walk or visit someplace out of town?
Yes. Actually, I've got a letter to write after this. A letter to one of the bigwigs back home. So I'm planning to head straight back to the trading post.
Oh, okay.
Can't say I'm especially surprised. What do you want me to do?
Oh, I just realized. I've left my, moment. Untab my tree from view. There we go.
It's work, and it has to be done. If I could get an audience with him in person, maybe this wouldn't be necessary, but that's not possible. So I have no choice but to write a long, long letter. Oh, yes, Pauline. If you're going on a walk, bring him along. I'm sure he's tired of putting up with me day in and day out. No, I'm...
Hold on now. Could you please leave Pauline out of this? She has things she needs to do too.
What's the big deal? You want to know about an area? Ask someone who lives there. That's the best way to learn. Besides, you'll stick out like a sore thumb wandering around on your own, son. But I couldn't. You don't mind, do you, Pauline?
Not at all. God, you are the most inconsiderate man. Mum says, then leans in and whispers to me.
Listen to me. Do not let your guard down around a foreign man.
My father is, as a matter of fact, a foreigner, and the man he brought to lunch is from the same country. This is a park.
Indeed it is. It is a park.
My assignment to show this man around town is, to be honest, going quite horribly. This is a park? No, just... no. Couldn't you come up with anything better, Pauline? But I don't know anything about the history of this park. In fact, I don't know much of anything about this town's history. I just sort of walk around every day, not paying much mind. Wouldn't someone more knowledgeable make a better guide? Tips hat, g'day. I can't do it. Don't ask this of me. Also, he doesn't talk very much, and he's got this perpetually stern look on his face. He really does scare me. Don't worry, Mum. Your daughter won't mistakenly fall for a foreigner. At any rate, regardless of how I feel, I am still technically his guide. I've got to try a little harder, though I know it won't be easy. And then, there's a fountain.
There is indeed a fountain.
There's a fountain? Again? No. Seriously, Pauline, he has eyes. I'm sorry. I'm not much of a guide. Maybe my dad could show you around instead.
No, don't worry about it. I think you're doing just fine. In fact, I'm sorry you got roped into this. I doubt you much enjoy having to walk around town beside someone like me.
What? No, that's not it at all.
Oh, is that so? I'm glad to hear it. Here's an idea. Rather than guide me, how about this? Why don't you show me what you usually do, the places you normally go?
Do you really want to see that?
I'd prefer to see the town through the eyes of a resident. To see it for what it is, instead of what makes good sightseeing.
Alright then. I often get ham sandwiches from the shops near here. Having lunch on the wall by the fountain is the most wonderful thing. Look over there. See the butcher shop? And the bakery next to it? I buy bread from the bakery, bring it to the butcher, get a few slices of ham and put it on the bread. It's absolutely to die for.
But you just had a huge lunch.
I'm not getting one right now. Also, please don't think I'm as carnivorous as my dad.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to imply any such thing.
Jeez. Wait, hold on. Did he just smile? He did. It was a small one, but he did. He can actually smile. Being human, that should be obvious, but it's kind of strange seeing him do it. Maybe, just maybe, we'll be able to get along, even just a little bit. Do you mind if I ask you a question?
Sure, go right ahead.
Could you tell me about your home country? I've asked Dad, but he won't tell me very much. Come on, how about it? I'm really curious.
He probably doesn't know very much himself.
What? About his own homeland?
Some don't.
Huh? What do you...
How about that fountain? I'd like to get a closer look at it. At the spot you say you like to sit.
Okay. What was that just now? Did he dodge my question? Is there something he doesn't want to get into?
From this angle, it looks like the fountain's sitting atop the ocean.
Yeah, it does. It does. If you want, we can go to the beach. It's a straight walk from here.
No, I like this view. The sea's a pretty color here. You can clearly see the white of the fountain upon it.
The sea is a different color than the fountain?
It is. In fact, the sea is often changing colors itself, but out on the water it can be easy to overlook. It can be the color of emeralds, or deep blue like sapphire, or almost black, like obsidian. The sea has a face, and with it, many expressions.
Huh. I'd like to see that. Maybe I'll ask Dad and get him to take me out in his ship.
You have quite the adventurous spirit. Not many women say they want to ride a ship.
You think? I want to go everywhere I haven't been before. I want to see for myself that the world extends beyond this town.
Oh, that's a fine ambition. Hopefully, the time will come when anyone can have access to a ship with relative ease.
He actually smiles quite a bit, I guess. And we seem to be talking pretty comfortably too. He's a lot more friendly than he looks. He appears almost noble, the way he looks out at the sea, his gaze steadfast and unwavering. Oh dear, that was close. He almost deceived me. He's a foreign man and I'm simply his guide. You mustn't think you've grown close to him just because you were able to hold a brief conversation.
By the way...
Pardon me. Yes?
That outfit you're wearing.
Oh, what? This? Oh, yes, it's absolutely splendid. My dad brought it back for me. It's of a peculiar design with unusual accessories. The moment I saw it, I said, "Oh my! Oh my," I said. It's so pretty. I want to show it off to everyone.
I see.
It's just so magnificent. He actually has a decent eye for clothing. I guess he has more in that head than... Oh, I guess he has more in that head of his than meat.
Actually... I brought back that outfit.
Huh?
When I heard I was going to meet my boss's daughter, I thought it would be best if I brought some kind of gift. So I had a tailor imitate the style of my homeland. I'm delighted it's to your liking.
What? Hold on a second.
Yes?
So you're saying these clothes I'm fawning over were given to me by you and you had them made for me?
Indeed.
And completely oblivious, here I am wearing them now.
More precisely, you've been wearing them since lunch.
Why didn't you say something before? This is humiliating. I want to bury my head in the sand.
But I thought you liked them.
I do indeed. But
Having never met you, I wasn't sure what colors you liked, but I'm relieved to see you wearing them. They look nice on you.
He says with a smile. He's always standing up perfectly straight, always looking stern and no nonsense, and he kind of scares me. But he's a gentleman. I'm going to go change.
Oh.
I'm going to go change. I'll be back in 5 seconds, so just wait there.
5 seconds is infeasible.
Oh God, help me, Mom. I really, really need your help. Because my heart just skipped a beat. For a foreign man. Oh, is that so? Very well then. No, thank you for the information. I really appreciate it. And don't worry about me, I'll keep safe. Goodbye. Shortly before I arrived at the village, a beast appeared. It killed a number of villagers and then disappeared. Ever since then, the village hasn't been itself. There's a cloud of gloom hovering over it, fear visible in everyone's eyes. You have missed the beginning of their relationship. At first, I thought their fear was of the beast returning, but that's not quite right. Their troubles with the beast are, in fact, still ongoing. Javi.
Hey, I hear you were asking around about the beast.
Yeah.
Talking about the beast is taboo. People are gonna push you away even harder now. Though I guess you are leaving in a few days.
People going missing. Your beast problem is still going on, isn't it?
Huh.
After asking around, I'm beginning to piece things together. When the beast first appeared, you chased it away. However, later, the beast came back, killing villagers. After that, the beast disappeared, but villagers began disappearing too. Once a week, someone would just be gone. And even as the weeks passed, none of them ever returned. The people of the village think the beast is responsible. They think it's kidnapping villagers.
That's right. This village is under the beast's curse. So you're better off forgetting about this place and the savage beast that dwells nearby. You don't belong in a place like this. Go back to your hometown, where it's peaceful. That's the kind of life you deserve.
Javi,
What?
I want you to be honest with me about something. Where does...
I won't tell you.
Why not? They told me that you would know where the beast is, Javi. I heard from the other villagers that you once chased the beast.
Sure you didn't mishear him?
No, I'm positive. You know where the beast ran off to, where its hideaway is. You chased after it, found its den, and then you came back. That's what I heard. Didn't you? Why did you keep that from me? When you told me about the beast, I asked you to tell me everything you knew, Javi. But you brushed me off, said you didn't know anything. It said that I should talk to someone else. When in reality, you know more about it than anyone else. Tell me, why? Why did you hide that from me? What were you thinking? As you watched me frantically asking around the village for more information, were you enjoying yourself? Tell me, why are you always so mean to me?
Shut the hell up. Like I could tell you. Like I could actually tell you that. What did the village tell you about me? Did it go like this? That the kid couldn't even take revenge for his parents? That he's a damn coward? Huh. I'm sure you heard that one plenty from everyone, and now you think that I am a coward too.
I don't...
Yeah, it's true I went after the beast. I chased it down the night it killed my parents. Hiding around back, I saw it slip into the forest. So, I went after it, chasing it until I reached its den. I despised that bestie with everything I had. It murdered my mom and dad. It murdered my friends, the kindly priest, every decent person in town. I needed to get revenge for what it had done. It was my duty to bring retribution upon the beast that stole everything from me. So I tried to confront the bestia. But I couldn't do it. Not only could I not stand up to it, as soon as it turned around and I saw its eyes, its bloodshot eyes and black irises, I couldn't move.
Harvey.
Yeah, that's right. I was a coward. I watched as it killed my parents and even followed it home. But I couldn't do anything. Anything except run, flee, screaming in terror. That was all I could do.
Harvey, that doesn't make you a coward. If the beast really was that terrifying.
But I was supposed to stand up to it. That's what the rest of the village would have wanted. For someone to eradicate the bestia. When I came back, having accomplished nothing, everyone was so harsh. You coward. What did you even go out there for? Constant ridicule.
What right do they have to... If they really want him gone, they could all go together and...
No one's got that kind of courage left. They're all waiting for someone else to speak up. Someone to stand up and say, let's go kill that beast. But no one has the guts to take that initiative. It could have been me, but the moment I fled back to the village in fear, I lost that qualification. You think that was just me being mean? That I didn't tell you where the beast dwells? Do you think that was just me harassing you? I've seen the beast. I know how scary it is. And I know how dangerous it is. And you think I'd tell you where it is? I know good and well what you're thinking. That the guy you're looking for might have been taken by him. And you want to go to its den to see if he's there. Knowing that, do you really think I'd tell you? If you go, it'll kill you. You don't have any evidence anyway. Nothing that points to that guy being taken by the beast.
But...
You don't need to put your life on the line for something like that. Something so uncertain. Even if by some chance he was taken by the beast, there's no way he'd be alive. That's what the beast does. No one comes back alive.
You came back alive, Harvey.
Oh.
Which means there's no saying for sure either way.
That's just because I ran away immediately. But even if you did manage to escape, that's all the more reason not to check the beast's den.
I want to know for sure whether he's alive or dead. Somewhere in a little corner of my heart, part of me thinks that he might just actually be dead. I have to have faith. But I'm so close to cracking, to thinking he won't ever come back to me.
Then why don't you just give up on him already?
Without knowing for sure, I can't let go. I'll debate with myself forever until I die an old lady about whether or not he's still alive. That's how my life will end.
You want closure. You want to know for sure whether he's alive or dead, right? And even if he is dead, you'll be satisfied just knowing it.
Right. Which is why I want to at least follow any possible leads. There might not be anything saying he's there, but it is true that remains of the ship he was on washed up in this village. If he wandered the area and ended up at the beast's den where he was killed, then I'll let go. So please, Harvey, tell me where the beast dwells.
Make this the last time. Even if you find no trace of him at the beast's den, even if you don't figure out whether he's alive or dead, you'll give up your search for him. You'll assume he's dead. If you don't reach some conclusion, you'll just keep searching, keep going to dangerous places, keep putting yourself at risk. I want you to stop that. To stop, go back to your town, and live a normal life. Settle on an answer. If you can promise me that, I'll tell you where the beast's den is.
Okay. I promise. This will be the last place I look.
2 more things. First, I'm going with you.
What? But I thought... Isn't it dangerous?
Exactly. I can't let you go alone.
Harvey...
I have to go with you and make sure you don't do anything stupid.
Alright, fine. And the other one is?
You will not enter the den. You don't understand just how dangerous the beast is. It knows no mercy. It indiscriminately attacks any human it sees. So you can't let the beast find you. You just examine the den from the outside. And when you're done, back to the village. Understood? You need to promise me this.
Okay.
Oh, right. One more thing.
I thought it was just 2 things.
This is less of a promise and more of something that would be nice. I decided when we make it back to the village, I actually would like if you could take me to your hometown.
Harvey...
I'll figure out some way to get permission, and I'll do my best not to be a burden on you. I'm still just a kid, and there's not a whole lot I can do even in a better place, but I'm surprisingly skilled with my hands. If you have work for me, I'll do anything. So, there's that.
Yes. Yes! Of course I will. We'll go back to my hometown together and I'll show you all around. You can get some great ham sandwiches there. We'll eat them together in the park.
You've told me that already. Are you ever not hungry, lady?
You laughed! You just laughed, Harvey!
Whoa, back off. I did not laugh.
No, you definitely laughed. You're kind of cute when you laugh, Harvey. Come on, do it again. Go on, like this.
Shut up. Stay back. Stop it. Don't touch my cheeks.
I wanted to see it again.
I'm not your plaything. Anyway, we set out tomorrow. We will return before it gets dark, and you will keep your promises, and you will not do anything dangerous. Got it?
Promise. Thank you, Harvey.
I don't need your thanks.
Thank you. That thank you is not for him agreeing to tell me where the beast's den is, but because I can see that Harvey's trying to save me. His care calms the turbulent waves that have been crashing inside me. I was always anxious. I always believed. I always thought I'd see him again. But I also recognized that I was practically living a fantasy. I was just too stubborn to admit it. I certainly won't be able to change how I feel immediately. I'll probably continue loving him. Nevertheless, Harvey's words resonated comfortingly within me. I can see, if but vaguely, a new path, a new way of life appearing before me. That's what he did for me. I will make this the last time. My final attempt to find him. No matter the outcome, I will stop stubbornly believing he's still alive. And then I'll find happiness on a different path. Master? You have awakened. You gave me quite the startle. Do you not remember? You suddenly started staring off into the distance and you would not respond to anything I said. I thought you were playing a prank on me. Your hand? Oh yes, I did not let go of it. For if I had, we would be in quite the predicament. Someone approaching the mansion, you say? You saw them? Those images were not shown to you by me. If you saw something, then it was by your own powers. But if you think about it, that is nothing unusual. You are, after all, the master of this house. You should, in all actuality, to be able to do anything I can do by yourself, Master. So it is very possible you could acknowledge that I do not. Now, let us return to the mansion's tale. After the second beast paid a visit, Bestia began to destabilize again. The white-haired girl would soothe his heart, but the calm was only ephemeral. He was like a cracked glass ball. If you dropped him, that would be the end. If you put too much force into handling him, he would shatter. He was very difficult to care for. And cracks do not heal. The damage still remains, even if the two sides appear to be held together firmly in place. Furthermore, they slowly, gradually, and without intervention, spread. The beast appeared to be afraid of someone's voice. He would on occasion stare into empty space and shout, cover his ears, and groan. One day he shattered all the windows in the mansion, crushed the silverware I had polished just to a shine, and destroyed all the mirrors. I assume he did not want to see his beastly self.
More. There's more. There's still more that reflects my image. Windows, mirrors, vases, dishes, they all show my reflection.
What are you doing?
I have no need of anything that reflects me. You can understand that, can't you?
Why? You're going to cut your hands like that. Tracing the wall with her fingers, the white-haired girl approached Bestia. She stretched her spindly fingers out toward the beast's rugged hands. His hands were wet with blood from his frenzied attempts to destroy anything reflective in the house. Look at all these cuts.
Stop. I'm going to dirty your hands. Get back!
No, I will not.
It's no use. No matter how many times you call me human, the mirrors tell another story. Not just the mirrors. Everything reflective shouts beast at me angrily. Look at how precarious I am. It's hideous. Pitiful. I thought it was all over when I protected you from the beast. But that image keeps coming back to me. The sight of another beast clinging onto me. I can hear its voice. It says I was only ever a beast.
Voice? Whose voice?
So you don't know. Can't hear it.
You're fighting against something beyond the limits of my perception.
Fight it. Oh, if only it were a fight. It speaks the undeniable truth.
As I have said before, you are not a beast. You look like me. I am certain of it.
Your eyes.
What?
Your red eyes. They show you nothing. But they show me what I am. They show me the difference between us.
Are you afraid of my eyes? If my eyes cause you fear, if you can see in them your reflection, then you are welcome to destroy them. Rip them from me with your own hands. I have no need of them after all.
Why would you go so far for me? The voice says that you're laughing at me, that deep down you ridicule me.
Do you believe that? After all the time we've spent together?
I don't know. I'm starting to lose confidence. I believe you. I think I believe you, but I find myself wavering. I'm losing sight of myself and of you, of everything. In all my memories, I am a beast. The voice says I was always this way, which I suppose means I am a beast. It can't be anything but.
Do not trust the voice. Trust me instead. I do not want to make another mistake. To do something like run away. Because I am so weak-willed.
I do not understand this woman. She's so pure-hearted, so beautiful, like hope personified. I want to understand, to believe her. I was sure I could do it, but I keep failing. Why am I losing my grip on everything?
Are words not enough to convince you?
What?
Are words not enough to convince you? You are not a beast. Then see for yourself, feel for yourself, that there is but one difference between us.
What are you doing?
I assume our skin and our hair, our eyes are different colors, but those do not count as a difference. The only thing that differs between us is our sex.
Hold on.
In his utter shock, Bestia was frozen in place, and he was right to be surprised. The sound of rustling fabric shook the air in the forlorn mansion. She had placed her hand on the sleeve of her garments and begun to disrobe before long. Gaze upon me. She was standing there completely undressed. Her body was incomparably beautiful, slender, not an ounce of excess fat on her. The sight of her was impressive, almost divine. Even I let out a gasp when I saw her. See for yourself. This was the first time Bestia had seen the white-haired girl unclothed. Though they slept in the same bed, as I said before, they did not have a physical relationship. She grasped his unmoving hand and guided it toward her. She moved his hand across her flesh, along the curve of her shoulder, down her arm, and pressed it against her chest, firmly enough for him to feel her beating heart. Do you think this caused a stirring within him? Is there any man for whom the touch of a woman's skin would not? Especially one so beautiful as her? However, he was not aroused. Why do you think that was? Because a beast cannot last after a human? I believe you know the answer. Are you crying?
Could you smile for me?
What?
I want to see your smile.
Like this? I'm not sure I'm doing a good job.
No, you're doing fine. Your smile is so pretty. It calms me, warms my heart. I think I know someone, somewhere, who has that same smile. Thank you for seeing me off.
Don't mention it.
I learned so much about this town thanks to you. You made my stay here quite enjoyable. What's the matter? You're looking rather glum.
I wonder. I wonder why the sea exists. I was born in a port town, so it's always been there for me. This huge, never-ending, expansive, magnificent ocean. Far too big for a single measly little human like me to cross. It's so pretty.
It is.
I feel like I understand why you like the sea. But right now I can't help wondering why God created such an enormous sea. Why he didn't make the world smaller. I'm sorry. I'm talking nonsense.
Not at all. I'll probably be back eventually. That's just part of the job.
And will you have lunch at the seaside restaurant again?
Quite likely. And I bet it'll be mostly meat, too.
Was your stomach able to handle it?
I'll train up the next time.
Your ship is going to embark soon.
Yeah.
Will people get mad you're not helping them prepare?
Most likely.
Then you should hurry off.
Yeah. Pauline.
Hmm?
I just wanted to thank you again. I appreciate you taking so much time to show me around.
Is that all?
No. I don't know why, but I was considering leaving without telling you this.
I'd like you to tell me.
I'd feel better if you turned me down.
What?
My homeland is only getting more isolated. Unlike your country, mine is not eager to associate with the rest of the world. I probably don't even have their patronage anymore. What I'm saying is that I have absolutely no stability. I can't even say for sure whether I'll be back. So...
You're right. There's nothing but obstacles. I'm sure my mum would be opposed as well. But I've fallen for you. The way you look staring out at the sea, the shape of your lips when you smile at me, the kindness in your voice. The more time I spend with you, the deeper I fall in love with you. The whole world could separate us, and these feelings would not change.
Well, damn. You beat me to it.
If I'd waited, I don't think you would have ever gotten to it.
Oh, and say it myself, too. I love you, Pauline. I fell for you the moment I first saw you. I promise, we will meet again.
Mm-hmm. I promise. I'll be waiting.
Thank you.
It's visible in both our eyes. This love, strong enough to wash away all our tribulations. It's all right there, plain as day in each of our eyes. Mine and his. Did you hear something?
Mm-hmm.
It sounded like someone's voice.
I didn't hear anything. Must have been your imagination. You want to turn back, lady? You're looking nervous.
I'm just fine. Let's keep moving. But there is one thing.
What?
My name isn't Lady. It's Pauline.
This again.
Lady is so distant. I don't like being called that. So, call me Pauline.
Polly. How's that? Can I call you Polly?
Oh, come on! I really rather you called me Pauline. I'm an only child, so I've always wanted a younger brother or sister, but Polly makes it sound like I'm the younger one.
I am not your brother, and I am not a child.
You called yourself a kid yesterday, though.
That's not what I meant.
Oh, fine. You can call me Polly. It's not my full name, but I'm glad you're calling me something other than Lady, Javi.
Then that's what I'll do.
You laughed!
Be quiet.
You're no fun.
There's a mansion up ahead, standing atop the cliff. I can't say why exactly, but I feel like it's something that shouldn't be there.
What do you mean?
It feels out of place in this area, and something seems off about it. Like it's somehow ethereal and could disappear at any moment. No, I'm probably just overthinking things. Sorry, that was stupid of me to say.
It's okay. We still can't see the mansion Javi's talking about from here, just dense, overgrown forest. But for some reason, I can sense that we're approaching it. It's a strange sensation. Anxiety is bubbling up from deep inside me. And at the same time, I feel like I could burst into tears. Not out of fear, but familiarity. Familiarity? I've never been to this country before. Everything I'm seeing is new to me. There's nothing at all for me to find familiar. Why, then?
I'm going to ask you one more time. Are you sure you want to do this?
I am.
You agreed not to go inside. Don't break that promise.
It's okay. Don't worry. I'm sorry for putting you through this, making you relive unpleasant memories. But thank you for accompanying me when you have nothing to gain from it. Don't worry, I'll just look around. I'm only searching for a sign he was here. And when I'm done, we'll return to the village together.
All right.
Okay. Now, let's go. We push our way through the dark, dense woods, and then, like the world fading into view after a dream, a mansion appears before us. It rests quietly upon a cliff, against a backdrop of emerald ocean. This is the beast's den? It should, by all rights, be a magnificent scene. But the blue sky and jade sea clash with the building. It appears alone, isolated precariously from the rest of the world.
Yes, this is it. This is the mansion where the beast dwells.
Careful not to make any noise, we draw nearer to the house. This inexplicable structure sitting in between the forest and the cliff. The fluttering I feel in my heart does not seem to be caused only by fear of the beast. The weeds and plants growing unchecked around the house are tall enough for Harvey to hide in. I imagine that's how he approached the mansion the first time, lurking in the overgrowth. Say, have the people of the village thought about leaving this area? Moving somewhere else, away from the beast's den?
Only those with enough savings can do that. Leave without money and you'll just die in a ditch somewhere. Everyone's made their lives here in the village. We have farmland, cattle, ships. It's not easy to let all that go. Not everyone can just hop on a boat to another country like you, Polly. We're not wealthy.
Sorry, I didn't mean to offend you.
I know. I was being too harsh. You're just ignorant. So naive you believe the whole world is just this perfect, magical place. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. If you're capable of seeing the world like that, there's no reason you should look at it in any other way.
For as mature as you can be, Harvey, you're also rather cynical.
Well, pardon me. When you said you'd take me to your town, that kind of made my day. There's nothing left for me in this village.
You'll find plenty of new things, I'm sure. You can even make some friends in my town. After all, you've still got a long life ahead of you, Harvey. So, you should make it a fun one.
You make it sound like I'm about to throw myself off a cliff.
I didn't mean it like that.
We should try to keep quiet from here out.
Okay. Got it. As we draw closer to the mansion, I can see the ivy twisted across its stone walls. I press my back against the wall and take a few deep breaths. There's a window next to me. If there really is a beast, if there really is a terrible, man-eating monster inside, I'm in danger if it catches me. Harvey's eyes entreat me not to get any closer. But I have to see. I have to see if there is a mountain of corpses inside these walls. If there's even the slightest trace of him. I'm just going to have a look. Peek in from outside without being noticed. That's all I'm going to do. And when it's done, I'll go home. Through the window, I see a dimly illuminated hallway. Like the garden, the inside is desolate. But there's still the sense someone lives here. It's not completely abandoned.
Polly!
I see something moving inside the mansion. I hold my breath so whatever is in there does not sense my presence, does not sense my gaze. And then a shadow whisks past. No.
Polly? Hey, Polly!
Open up! Please! Open the door!
Stop it, you idiot! What do you think you're doing?
Please! Please! Open the door!
Polly, you promised me. Have you lost your mind? The only thing here is...
It's not a beast.
Huh?
It's not a beast. A beast isn't living in this mansion.
You're wrong. It is. There's a beast in there. A bestia. Get away from the door. The beast.
It's not a beast. Open the door. Open the... I knew it. I knew it. I was right. You're alive. You're alive. You're alive. I never stopped believing. I knew you wouldn't die. Would you? Yukimasa. There he is. There's his name. I had faith you were still alive. I wanted to prove it. And I was right. I'm so glad I had faith. I'm so glad I didn't give up. I missed you so. All this time, I've never stopped thinking about you. I've never stopped imagining our reunion. Yukimasa, I'm so glad you're alive.
Stop it, Polly. Get away from him. That's the beast.
Well, I won't read this part again, but my girl. Well, we all know what's about to happen. You can't see, but I have like my hand to my face, just like him. Science. Yukimasa, what's wrong? What's the matter? It's me. It's Pauline. I came to find you. I missed you so much. Yukimasa. I'm sorry. I still don't understand your language. Wait! Where are you going?
Stop it, Polly. Don't go after him. Polly!
Why are you running from me? Don't you recognize me? It's Pauline! Your love... Why? Why do you point that at me? You're scaring me. What's gotten into you? Hey! What's the matter? Yukimasa, do you know who I am? What happened? You used to be able to speak my language so fluently. Let's talk. What do you say? Put that thing away. Please? It's dangerous. Here he comes. Why? You cut me. Your hair. So... Why? Yukimasa. It's me. It's Pauline. Open your eyes. Oh no, I'm so sad for her. No. Stop. Yukimasa. Please. Stop this.
Oh, the imagery.
I'm begging you. Why would you do this to me? Stop it, Yukimasa. Stop this. His blade, held high above my head, glimmers. Why? He's the beast. Tell me, Yukimasa, did you kill all those villagers? Are you going to kill me? Why?
Oh, my poor girl. She is being murdered. And he's still going. He's still going.
Ah!
Well, there you have it. So brutal. So brutal.
Pauline.
So sad. Fine. Fine. In the end, the Tachiri Kinshi sign wasn't used at all. Sorry. I'm so... The situation is so sad.
It is so sad for me. I suppose the best thing about this story is that it doesn't even get better from here. It's great. It's like horrific. I don't even have the spirit to go and read this. I know that Pauline is dying. Everyone knows that Pauline is dying. I suppose I should, though. So sorry, everyone. So sorry that I'm just sitting here live reeling from this part again. Reeling from this part of the story again. Oh, it's fine. Oh. It's Pauline. Please open your eyes. Let's go back. Why down? I never got the chance to ask if you wanted to move to my country. Then we wouldn't wait so long to see each other. What do you think? Kimasa. Why? Tell me. Why? Oh, it's brutal. Oh, it's brutal. Oh, it's brutal. Ah. My poor girl. There she is. Perished. What happened here?
I am grateful that you cannot see, because you would certainly think me a beast if you were able to see this. Because you cannot see, you do not know what I look like. But I do know. Another beast like me broke into the mansion.
Was it?
I protected you. Did I not? I protected you. Say that I protected you. That I did this for you.
Show your beast. I can hear a woman's voice. I can't keep my eyes open. I wonder who she is. They seem like they're really close. Did you choose someone else than you? have just said so. I wouldn't be angry. We've been apart for so long. But this does kind of hurt. It hurts. I can't take it. Just once. Could you turn back and say my name? I proved it. That you're still alive. We were lovers, weren't we? So why? You said you wanted a peaceful life. I can't take this. It's so bad. So I can't take this. What I want most is to spend a nice, quiet life with you. I don't need anything extravagant. Just an ordinary life. Slowly growing older. Having 3, maybe 4 children. Would never fight, and eventually, before I knew it, I'd be an old lady. Thinking, oh, it was an uneventful life, but it was the best I could have asked for. That's the life I want. And what about you?
Yes, I too wish for a peaceful life with you. So freaking miserable. Ugh. Well, sometimes it'd be like that. I felt quite strongly about this the first time I read it as well. But life stinks, guys. It's rough, guys. It's rough. Now you all know that Pauline, who we hung out with as she went to a foreign land to find her merchant lover, turns out he wasn't actually mauled by the beast, but he was the beast doing the mauling. And he doesn't even recognize her as she comes in through the door. And he's like, oh my god, you're here to kill me. And she's like, I missed you. I missed you. And so he gores her with his sword. Relentlessly. I'm sure we only see her in one piece for Moyotaro's sheer politeness of depiction. That no doubt she's in a bad way. She's a mess. Anyway, sorry. It's my 2 cents again and again throughout this story. I said I would try and do a good reading, but dissociate. Holy, couldn't. Again, I couldn't do. Uh, 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 uh. Poor kid. Here's another poor kid. Just imagine him running, screaming out of here.
Master, Master, what is the matter? You look pale as a ghost. What? I lied to you? I have not told you a single falsehood, Master. Ah, about the beast? That means you are seeing her memories, then? Is that so? That must have been quite difficult to witness. But I assure you, I have told you no lies. Bestia was convinced he was a beast, and as a servant of this house, it is my responsibility to present my former master to you as he saw himself. This would have been a very different story had you not discovered the truth. Well, what do you guys think of the story so far? Golly. Ugh. So, A beast meets a white-haired girl and learns humanity. That tale would have been far easier on you, I'm sure. By remaining in the dark and seeing the story through his eyes alone, you would not have had to witness that poor girl's miserable death. And that perhaps would have been better for you. But the reality you observed through her eyes changes the truth of his tale. And it sounds like the and it sounds like the visions you had did not run in parallel to the events I described for you, but took place slightly earlier in time. Which means that, yes, her fate was set in stone well before you ever saw it. I do have to wonder, though, why did Bestia believe the woman to be a beast like him? Perhaps it was because her hair, eye, and skin color were similar to his own. The poor young woman who called upon the mansion did indeed resemble Bestia. They were of a similar race. Half of her blood was of the same race as his. But was that the only reason? Would that be enough for him to mistake her for a beast? I have my own theory. His memories may have played a role. I suspect Bestia was afraid the memories from when he was human would cause him to waver. But that is simply my own speculation. Perhaps he had merely lost his grip on reality. How well have you come to understand Bestia, Master? You do appear to think he was an ordinary human who believed himself to be a beast. But where does the line between man and beast truly lie? That I do not know. Master, if, like Bestia, you were to lose your memories and endure persecution and degradation until you broke, would you still remember those you care for? Now, our tale is not yet over. The web of misfortune was tightly, oh so tightly entangled. It could not be unraveled. Let us return now from her memories to the point we left off in our story. Just after the white-haired girl had disrobed, showing Bestia the difference between her and him. This was, yes, several days following the young woman's death. The blood in the hall had been cleaned up, and there was no trace of it any longer. He had made a tremendous mistake, though the only people aware of that mistake are you and I. There is perhaps a chance the white-haired girl had realized, but she knew nothing of the woman, so I entreat you not to fault the white-haired girl for trying to be kind to Bestia. She is without sin, in any and all times. The beast, no, the man made the white-haired girl put her clothes back on. He seemed to have calmed down a bit, After examining her body and comparing it with his own, he was once again coming to think he might not be a beast. In the past, he would have rejoiced to have proof of his own humanity. However, it was for him then the seed of several new doubts.
You said I am human.
Yes,
Do you still believe this?
I certainly do. You are simply mistaken. You believe yourself to be a beast because of what the villagers said.
Why did they call me a beast?
If I were able to see, I could surely answer all your questions. But I cannot, so all I can offer you is my conjecture.
Go on, tell me.
I suspect that you do not come from this country. No, you do not come from this continent. You came to this continent from far, far away, perhaps even across the seas. This land has been cast into turmoil by the war. Fortunately, no fighting reached the village, but it has blocked trade routes, stripped them of their independence, and cast a dark shadow over their hope. They are quite devastated, I imagine. And then you showed up. From what I have heard, this area is not particularly friendly to people from other countries, even less so those from another continent. I doubt they know much about distant lands, so they had probably never seen someone like you before. But in addition, you would have been wearied and worn. I guess you were emaciated, wasting away. Enough so that you did not even look like yourself. Do you remember how you arrived at the village?
When I woke up, I was on the beach. I don't remember anything before that. My joints all ached, and I was incredibly thirsty. I was in so much pain. I sought help. But nothing I said got through to the villagers. I did not understand what they said either.
But the one thing you did understand was that they were calling you Bestia.
Right. And I also understood that the word was used to describe beasts. The way they looked at me, it wasn't normal, so I
imagine at first they simply didn't want the trouble. They didn't actually think you were a beast, simply that this wretched man, unfamiliar in appearance, who had washed ashore, resembled a beast.
washed ashore.
You were in an accident, were you not? While crossing the sea.
I do not remember. I can't remember. No, I mustn't remember. If I am not a beast, that means the other beast wasn't one either. What did the beast look like? It looked somehow similar to me. Its hair color, skin color, eye color, and the way it spoke seemed vaguely familiar, which means it was. I cannot accept that. If I do, then that means I have done something terrible. No!
What?
They did call me a beast. I was, in fact, a beast.
As I've been saying, that's because...
Tell me I'm a beast. Please, let me remain a beast.
How do you imagine he saw the world? I cannot even begin to fathom. But you can never know what someone else sees. And there is nothing to say they see the same thing as you. As you and I have seen different things, so too did the man and his lover see different things. Or perchance, the true shape of the world is visible only through the white-haired girl's sightless eyes. Do you think the reason he so stubbornly rejected his human memories is because he had taken the life of his beloved? I, personally, believe that there was more to it than that. Someday, you shall remember. You shall remember everything. I will not allow you to avert your eyes. Remember that you have always been a beast, incapable of saving anyone, only of taking. Remember and suffer. Agonize. Writhe. Anguish. Grieve. Suffer.
Such a damn shame. Our homeland is but a stone's throw away, and they still won't let us in. Just how long are they going to maintain this stance? Regrettable, isn't it, son? Yes, I agree with you wholeheartedly, Captain Asama. We can make it this far on the white men's ship, but they give no response to our missives. I'm not sure it's even reaching the magistrate's hands. Is it so difficult to be even the slightest bit accommodating to your fellow countrymen? They seem to be treating the white men rather poorly as well. I hear they imprisoned them on a tiny man-made island. That's no way to make friends. Well, all things considered, we can hardly call this our homeland anymore anyway. For how many generations has your family lived overseas again? I am the third. I see. And I doubt you have any attachment to this land. That's not true. I may never have the opportunity to set foot on her soil, but my spirit dwells within this land. My grandfather has told me much about this country, of her 4 rich, vibrant seasons and boundless beauty. I am deeply grateful you invited me on this voyage to visit her, Captain Asama. I have finally, if only at a distance, laid eyes upon my home. I cannot say when this era may draw to a close, but I hope the time comes when you can proudly proclaim her motherland. You can't find food this good back home. I eagerly await the day that becomes true. Indeed, as do I. I've lied to her. She believes I was born in the Orient, but in truth I've never once set foot in that country. I was born in Europe. My family has not been permitted to return since my grandparents left. I can still remember as clear as day the look of profound regret on my grandfather's face as he departed from this world. He bequeathed to me a katana, and on that day, that blade became the one object binding me to my homeland. I could not bring myself to tell her that I am disallowed to return home. I did not want her to think that I had been forsaken by my country, that my country would do such a thing. However, some part of me believes there was more to it than that. Smuggler? Yeah, I never would have expected it. Not on this ship. One of the crew was conspiring with a government official. He hid unreported goods on board and delivered them in secret. What goods? Silver coins. Spanish coins trade for more than they're worth as currency. The official was sentenced to commit seppuku, but we are responsible for our own crew's punishment. I'm still trying to decide how to handle it. Have him commit seppuku as well. The sailor has brought shame upon the entire ship. If he is made to take responsibility for his actions, then perhaps we can minimize the damage to our reputation. You make a fair point. Unfortunately, he is not of this land. I doubt he is familiar with the ritual. Then, I shall serve as a second, and ensure he dies without issue. You lost your mind. I have been trained in the art. It is unlikely I should fail. You are not a samurai, though. I was born into a family of samurai. At least, it was until 3 generations ago. But that blood still courses through my veins. Very well, then. That is how we shall do it. We now commence the ritual seppuku of our fellow crewman Seedorf. Seedorf has, in violation of restrictions set in place by the shogun. Wait, when is this? 17? Committed the grave crime of smuggling prohibited goods into the country. In order to atone for this betrayal of the trust of both nations, he vows to take his life here before you. Do you have any last words? I deeply regret that we should have to lose a companion with whom we have traveled the 7 seas in this manner. Do it. It's me. What? It wasn't me. I've been set up. I didn't smuggle anything. I don't know anything about any silver coins. It's been framed. Believe me. Why should I have... Yukimasa. He said the accusations were false. Lies to escape punishment. I could not allow him to continue shaming himself and us when his fate was already decided. It would only serve to tarnish this ship's honor. An investigation was performed. It is our duty to trust those results. You're right. Yes, you're right. Good work. Now, this needs to be cleaned up. Yes, sir. I'm sure I was mistaken, but I would like to ask you anyway. Were you smiling as you did it? You must have been seeing things. Was that really the only reason I couldn't bring myself to tell her the truth? What was that dream? Was that from my memories? No. Osama, I've never met that man. Or that woman. No, I was, no, it wasn't me, I don't remember, I don't remember anything, not a single thing. I'm a beast, not a human. I don't need those memories. Are you there? Are you there? Where are you? Come to me. Be with me. Please. My peace. Where are you? Where have you gone? Why? Why are you not at my side? Don't remember anything. Stop remembering. Is that a silver coin? Spanish silver. Some weeks after we set off back west, I find a silver coin in the ship's hold. I don't know if it got overlooked or dropped when transporting the rest, but there's just one. The first thing I think when I find it is that I should report it to Captain Asama. But instead, I slip the coin into my pocket and take my leave of the hold as if nothing ever happened. Not for the purpose of smuggling it for some extra cash. It only has extra value in the East. Back west, it's worth nothing more than its designated value as currency. So again, it's not for want of money. Well, damn. It seems Seedorf might have been innocent after all. Perhaps so. And if he had no hand in the smuggling, then I have done a horribly regrettable thing. As you said, an investigation was conducted. We had no choice but to believe the information we were given. You mustn't blame yourself. I feel bad for putting such an unpleasant responsibility upon you. Not at all. Now, how do we handle this? I can't believe a silver coin was found in someone else's luggage. It would be best to handle this internally. Publicly, we have already made our amends with Seedorf's death. That's true. Though it would be prudent to try and discover from where he is acquiring the coins, so as to prevent another such incident. Should one of our crew be caught smuggling again, he will not be the only one asked to take responsibility. I have great sympathy for you, Captain Asama. This is quite the headache. I can't imagine he would just give up his connections just because we asked. We can force him. If he doesn't want to talk, then we can give him some encouragement. What? I couldn't. Worry not, Captain Asama. I shall take care of the dirty work. You needn't trouble yourself with anything, Captain. Leave it all to me. Captain. Very well. I leave this in your hands, Yukimasa. Yes, sir. Oh. How are you feeling? Hey, untie me. What's the meaning of this? A silver coin was discovered in your luggage. What? A silver coin? Interesting. It would seem you have quite the knack for acting. Hold on, I don't follow. I thought the smuggling problem was taken care of. Seedorf wasn't the one doing the smuggling. It was you. Like hell. I've never seen any damn silver coins. This is some kind of mistake. Check my bags again. Coin was found in your luggage, regrettably. Captain Asama saw it himself. Lies! I swear I've never touched one. Is that so? I swear, never once. Please believe me, I'm no smuggler. I've done good work, even on this expedition. You know I'm not someone who would get involved in smuggling. I don't know what kind of person anyone is. We may have known each other for years, but that doesn't mean I have any way of knowing what you think in private, how you feel, what kind of person you are. You smuggled the coins, didn't you? I didn't. I had nothing to do with it. Who was your supplier? I'm telling you, I'm no smuggler. It puts Captain Asama in an uncomfortable position if you don't talk. We can't risk damaging our homeland's trust any further. I swear to God I had nothing to do with it. So you won't tell? How can I tell you something I know nothing about? You see. You believe me? So, it's very, very important information. Enough so that you can't give it up so easily. In which case, I'll just do what I have to until you talk. What are you? Whenever you're ready to talk, let me know. I'll stop right away. Hey, stop. What are you? Wipe the thick fingers you have. Let go. What are you? But it's all meat. Your bones aren't any thicker than anyone else's. Oh, don't start screaming just yet. That was just the first. Your little finger. Next is your ring finger. Stop! Please don't. I'm begging you. Are you ready to talk? I told you. I don't know anything. Too bad. Your middle finger. Don't. Screams into my screaming booth. Your right hand is going to be useless if you don't start talking soon. What do you want me to tell you? I swear, I had nothing to do with it. What has you so stubbornly refusing to talk? Is your supplier really worth going to such lengths to protect? No, I can't tell you what I don't know. That's... All that's left is your thumb. Help! Someone get me! Just so we're perfectly clear, everyone on board knows what you did. No one's going to come to a smuggler's aid. God, I can't take any more of this. Please stop. Ready to talk? What will it be? I'll talk. Okay, I'll talk. If anything you tell me is a lie, you can consider your life forfeit. Are you ready to tell me the truth? We will investigate the details of your confession. If you lie, we will find out. Understood? I speak. But... Or can't you? Don't know anything. It's a shame.
Just,
Well, you won't be using your right hand ever again. Although, there are still 5 fingers on your left. Are you in pain? Do you want me to stop? Yes. Please. Alright. Fall That is quite the face. I wish I could show it to you in a mirror. What is wrong with you? You monster. I'm not doing this because I want to. You're the one forcing my hand by refusing to talk. Now go on. Spit it out. You wouldn't believe anything he said anyway. How long have you been doing this? You're the first. Why? You sick bastard. It's the truth, though. Then why? Why are you smiling? Three left. What'll it be? Sure. What'll it be? Will you tell me everything? No lies. No omissions. It wasn't me, I didn't do anything. Two left. Surprising how easily they break. No.
Stop. Really, stop.
This is the last one. Your fingers are on fire. Now, what next? It burns, it burns. Are you listening? Hello? This over a few broken fingers. Need me to wake you up? Let me tell you something. I'm the one who put the coin in your luggage. Of course you don't know anything. Someone, anyone, get in here. The silver coin was... Don't go shouting things you'll regret. It's hard to fight back with your hands in that condition. Having trouble breathing? Well, are you? You need air? I guess it's hard to talk with my hands around your throat. Do you want air? All right. Then you can have some air. What? Anyone? Please. Get in. You just don't learn. I can see the words written on his face. Why? Why are you doing this? Why? That is a good question. I'm not even sure myself. Hey. Answer me. Well, damn. I missed the opportunity to use my katana. I tossed the man's body overboard. My story will be that he sneaked out while I wasn't looking and threw himself into the sea. As I watched the sack of flesh sink into the depths, I'm thoroughly shocked to realize I don't feel the slightest bit bad about what I've done. No regret, no remorse, nothing. I comprehend the things I've done are reprehensible, that they're evil, but that knowledge wasn't sufficient to restrain my urges. There's an itch I felt deep within my chest ever since the moment my blade sunk its teeth into Seedorf's neck. I don't know what to call it, but I feel like I'm floating, like everything swirling about inside me has been unleashed, set free. There's also an edge of anxiety, though. If I continue down this path, what might I transform into? Despite feeling not the slightest bit guilty about the horrible things I've done, I still fear this life I've made slipping away from me. I want something to anchor me. What exactly am I? Is this what I wanted to become? The kind of man who can take another's life without flinching, fully aware of his actions. And if that's truly what I am, perhaps it would make things easier if I did lose everything.
Oh, don't scare me like that. And where did you pick up a word like Nantia? I never took you for someone so pretentious.
I'm sorry. You just looked so much like a rabbit there, the way you were tossing your head back and forth, looking around for me.
Oh, you... Nantia is something you call a child. I'm not a little girl anymore.
I'm sorry. Really. Don't be so mad, Pauline.
I'm not mad at all. It's been 1.5 years. We finally get to see each other again.
That we do.
Did you have any trouble out at sea? Did you fall ill or get caught in a storm or run into any kind of danger at all?
No, there was no trouble. Everything went fine, without incident. The sea god was watching over us, I suppose. I don't know. What am I? Who am I? Who? What is this room? What are those colored windows?
Oh,違う. Sorry. なんだ. やべ. What's the wrong button? Hold on.
Were those here before? In the mansion? You know what that is? It's an angel. The angel is looking at me and laughing. The angel is looking down on me and laughing.
What are you doing?
The angel is laughing at me. The angel. So the angel. You Where were you?
I went to the kitchen to get a drink of water. You have nothing to worry about. I will not run away from you.
I am not human. Am I? Not a human.
You are.
Not a human.
You are. You. It's alright. I imagine it's quite disconcerting, having lost your memories. But no matter what happens, you will always be you. Don't be afraid.
Are those words of encouragement I truly wanted to hear? Am I afraid of being myself? I don't know. Don't think about it. I am a beast. A beast with no memories.
His psyche drifted erratically between human and beast. If he accepted himself as human, it might cause memories better left buried to return to him. If he accepted himself as beast, in exchange for his memories, he would no longer be able to rejoin human society. The white-haired girl fervently supported him in these precarious times. I was quite amazed. I'd never imagined she would grow to be such a strong woman. Nevertheless, God is a cruel master. For what strength he gave her spiritually, he took an equal part from her physically. Though she persisted, day in and day out, to stay by the man's side, one day she suddenly fell ill. With her in the throes of a high fever and not knowing the cause, he fell into a perpetual panic. There was no medicine in the mansion. They could hardly manage to put together sufficiently nutritious meals. Though there was no medicine, maybe there was something else that could make her feel better. However, everything he could think of required him to leave the house.
Hey. Is there anything you would like?
Anything I would like?
I'm considering visiting the village.
I see. You're going to the village.
I thought I might be able to get some medicine. I would prefer to bring a doctor here, but no one would come if they learned you were in this mansion. So...
He was planning to put on a disguise, to enter the village as a person. The white-haired girl smiled when she heard his idea. She had, after all, always wanted him to think of himself as a human. However, because she was so pure-hearted, she did not comprehend the full extent of the slaughter he had confessed to committing. The revenge he had taken on those who had chased him around. How sinister his cackling, and furious his reaping. She did not grasp just how serious it was. She had faith that Bestia had kindness in his heart. If you cannot get any medication, then buy me some oranges, please.
Oranges.
This is a land blessed by the sun. You should be able to find some wonderful, fresh oranges.
Will that make you feel better?
Yes, it should.
Okay.
Bestia's mind was made up. He would don the skin of a human for her, to protect the peace he had. He would return to the place that had left him with many painful memories. It was, to him, the source of his fear. Whenever he let his guard down, their shouts would play back in his mind. Bestia. Bestia.
Bestia. Hideous beast.
Though he had physically conquered the people who lived there, Bestia's memories of the village still haunted him. But her health meant more to him than any of that. He was willing to cast aside his fear if it meant the white-haired girl would recover. The girl still in her bed, he made his way out of the mansion. He crossed the overgrown forest, pushing forward one step at a time, all the while trying to brush aside his apprehension, until he arrived at the village.
This is where they called me a beast, where I was almost killed, where I killed them. I look different than I did then. I'm dressed differently too. But can I play the part? Can I act a convincing enough human? I have no choice. There are no other villages. I can't let her die. Excuse me. Could you answer a question for me? The village man is looking at me. Only for a moment. But for me, that moment is torturously long. A faint look of panic crosses his face, perhaps in fear of my appearance. He's staring at me. Will he point his finger and call me a beast? Will the other villagers come to kill me? However, I haven't seen you around here before. You didn't recognize me. Yes, I come from a faraway land, and I am unfamiliar with this area, so... You're dressed like a nobleman. On a secret trip or something? Something like that. You look really pale, though. Searching for a doctor? Yes, but not for me. My companion has come down with a fever. Sorry to hear it. Well, I'd love to introduce you, but he's out right now. And he won't be back for a few days. I see. And where might I be able to buy fruit? There's a shop just around that corner. Thank you very much. Don't mention it. Do take care, traveler. It's dangerous out there. I'm starting to attract attention, but not the same kind as before. They don't look at me with revulsion, hatred, or furious indignation. They're simply curious. The village feels different than last time. Could it have changed this drastically? Or is it because I really did look like a beast then? Now I look like a human? I don't know. Excuse me. Me? Yes? I would like to buy some fruit. Some oranges. Oranges? Alrighty, just a sec. The fruit vendor doesn't recognize me as the beast either. Any other year and they'd be a lot plumper than this. But this year we've had the end of the war and this whole mess with the beast, and it's just been crazy. If you'd like, how about you come back in a few years and try oranges then? They'll be several times better, I assure you. I'll keep that in mind. You bet. That'll be... I'm sorry, I don't have any local currency. Would this suffice? Oh, how is... No good, I take it. No, on the contrary, it's hardly fair for you trading a jewel for a few oranges. That's all I have to offer. I hope you can exchange it for money. Sure. You nobles are something else. No. Aren't you? Though if you wander around dressed too well, you put yourself in danger. You might find yourself stripped bare by a bandit, or Perhaps even catch the attention of the beast? The beast. Everyone mentions the beast. They speak of me.
Have you heard the tales?
I have not. There's a beast den not too far from this village. It's attacked before and we've been living in fear and never knowing when it might attack again. But that all ends today. The men have finally found their spines. They all got together and went out to exterminate it. And you'll never guess who's responsible. A kid. A little boy is spearheading the attack. Never would have expected a little kid to whip all our lazy, cowardly men into shape. The boy's the only one who knows where the beast's den... hold on. What about your oranges? Men have banded together, and they're going to kill the beast? Why now? Why when I'm not there? I'm the beast. I'm right here. I'm what you're trying to hunt. The only person at the mansion right now is her.
He regretted not asking the fruit vendor how long ago the party set off. For what good would that knowledge have done him? He had to hurry back regardless. The sun was beginning to set, draping the surroundings in a deep blackness. As if to keep him from returning home, the night wrapped its hands around his head, covering both eyes. In what direction did he have to head to return to the mansion? He stormed through the forest, and eventually, the mansion appeared before him, like the world fading into view after a dream. Bestia was a tempest in the night, blowing through the overgrowth toward the house.
Please make it in time. I need her. I need the peace that she provides me. The last thing I want is for her to die.
In the blink of an eye, he was through the door, charging down the mansion's hall. He could not sense anyone else inside, though. All he could hear was the whoosh of the wind, blowing into the house from somewhere. It seemed a window was open.
Where are you? Where have you gone? Answer me. Please answer me.
He cried out the girl's name again and again, until his throat was sore and his voice hoarse. But she did not respond. He rushed into her bedchamber.
Hey. Hello? Where are you? Where are you? Answer me!
The man swung his head back and forth so hard, he thought he might break his own neck. And when he made to look down, he slipped, falling on his tailbone. He felt something slick on his hands, a sensation he would recognize anywhere. The liquid was still warm.
Oh, that cannot be. It can't. It can't. It cannot be.
Muttering incomprehensibly in fear, he crawled back through the door of her chamber and into the corridor. Like a genuine beast, he followed the trail of slippery fluid on all fours. The trail glimmered like red wire. It stretched down the hall, past the living room, smeared across the floor like it had been wiped down with a mop. The man crawled and crawled and crawled until at last he reached the stairs leading down to the cellar. The ruby trail continued. From beyond the door he could hear men's voices. With a howl, the man stumbled down the stairs, throwing open the wooden door. His first impression was that the stench of blood was suffocating, and indeed, there he discovered the white-haired girl. He found himself unable to even scream. Her once porcelain skin was no longer even sickly pale. was now the bloodless color of death. She was sprawled haphazardly out on the cellar floor, dried bloodstains around her half-open mouth. And those lips were, naturally, lacking their former rosy sheen. Her body was covered with an array of wounds, but the most prominent was the man's singular sword standing tall in her chest.
This is the bestia. It doesn't look the same. It's him. He's the same guy. He's the bestia.
Several villagers surrounded him at the behest of the young boy.
He's gotten himself dressed up all proper and fancy, but good clothes doesn't make him a good man. Isn't that right, you bestia? No. You murderer! Why? Why did you kill her? 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 Why? You want to know why? Her death was an accident, I'd say. I feel bad about what happened, but any woman who could live with a man like you must be a witch. Does that hurt? Are you hurting right now, you bestia? Then maybe now you understand. You not only stole my parents and friends from me, you ripped the last shot of hope I had from my hands. Do you get it? Do you finally understand how I feel? Now do you know how it feels to have someone you care about taken from you? Pauline was desperately trying to find you. Why? Why would you kill someone so devoted to you? Do you understand what you've done? I'm asking you a question, you goddamn murderer. I see. No. I heard nothing. What?
The man stepped forward, almost perfectly calm. His panic vanished, as if it were never there. His eyes were disturbingly vacant. Perhaps the sorrow had overpowered him, beating his heart to quiet submission. No, that was not the case. Though his eyes were empty, a faint smile spread across his lips. The transition was swift, as though a gear had switched in his mind. The boy and the other villagers were frozen in place at the sight. Before long, the man was standing before the deceased girl's body. And then he pulled the blade from her chest.
I knew it. I really was a beast. And what I want was a tavern. What are you yammering on about? Didn't you care about that woman? Didn't you choose her over Pauline, who you then threw aside and butchered? What is wrong with you? What was she to you? She was my serenity, but she's dead now, and there's nothing I can do about that. Peace, calm, tranquility.
The man's behavior was downright eerie, causing the boy to flinch back. Believing he had everything taken from him and could not possibly lose anything more was, I imagine, what had allowed him to stand up to the beast, the source of such crippling fear. Yet now, he found himself unable to move. He found himself in the face of such an incomprehensible creature, paralyzed with fear. And the villager was similarly dumbstruck. Not even I could understand his behavior.
What the hell is wrong with you? How can you laugh at this? I don't get it. Oh, indeed. I wonder myself. I don't know either. But you know what? It doesn't matter anymore. Because every last of my anchors has broken off and sunken into the sea. Insert louder and longer version of that. Damn it! Get moving! Kill him! Yes. My whole life, I've always wanted to kill.
What was it that afflicted you with such madness? Losing your memory in the shipwreck? The abuse and insult you suffered at the villagers' hands? Or was it your grief at not being able to return to your homeland? No, none of those were the root. You were always like this. You always bore those twisted desires. You held these deep, constant urges to cause others harm. That is your essence, the real you hidden beneath the mask of sincerity. The true beast was your heart. The beast was a convenient skin for you to wear. You wanted to be a brutal, savage murderer. You never really loved the white-haired girl, or the black-haired woman for that matter. You were merely attached to them, fixated on the idea of a world of tranquility. You used this piece to anchor yourself, to prevent you from drifting off into the ocean of your desires. You yearned to cause pain, while also hungering for the opposite, a calm life. You idolized this idealized life, spent in quiet harmony with another, because you knew just how difficult it would be for you to attain. Far more difficult for you than satisfying your cravings, but not impossible. I personally had hoped you would find peace with someone rather than descend into savagery. It may have only been superficial, but it would have been very human. But ultimately, peace slipped through your fingers, and no one was left to suppress your desires. You cannot, after all, hold them back yourself. What a tragic man. What a hopeless man you are. The door to the cellar swung shut. The departed had fallen to the floor at some point, unable to bear the stench of blood. The maid stood behind him, her arms wrapped around his shoulders. The maid's voice was chillingly gentle. That was quite horrific, wasn't it? Are you feeling unwell, Master?
I feel terrible for her. Why did she have to?
Oh my, you're shaking, Master. Fear not. I assure you, the beast will not come through that door. I am here for you, and I will continue to hold you for as long as you need to settle your nerves.
I feel like I'm going to freeze.
Oh dear, you feel like you might freeze in my arms? Am I really that cold? I cannot tell my own temperature.
She doesn't seem to notice. The air of death suspended throughout this house. What about him?
You wish to know what happened to Bestia after that? I could open the door once more and show you. But I have no intention of knowingly tossing you back into that den of horrors. He lost the rest of his humanity, becoming a holy beast. But, to tell just a little more of that tale, it is my understanding that an entire village was ravaged shortly thereafter. He was a bewitchingly talented swordsman. Not a single person living in that village could stand up to him. In the woman's memories you saw, he was a gentle man, yes? But even the mildest of men can change. Though personally I believe that, without an element of monstrousness buried somewhere within, a man cannot become a beast, regardless of what may push him in that direction. Do you follow? Now tell me, Master. Have you remembered anything?
Nothing has come back to me.
Oh dear. I was afraid of that.
My apologies.
I am a remarkably patient maid. I shall accompany you for as long as you require. So, do please find your memories. Now, let us head to the next door. The mansion is quite large, so hold on to my hand. We would not want to get separated. The departed and the maid travelled down the dimly lit hall, passing by the mirror once again. The light from the candle in the maid's hand was the only thing that reflected in it. The maid herself did not appear. However, just as the departed was about to avert his eyes, he thought he caught a glimpse of white hair. He heard a voice echo in the darkness, and when he turned to face the mirror again, the glass was the color of obsidian, as if it had been painted over. Okay. The voice seemed to be coming from beyond the mirror. The maid did not turn back, evidently having not heard anything. The departed. There's a choice here. What we're going to do is we're going to reach forward, extended his hand. The departed extended his hand toward the darkness overrunning the mirror. The second his hand brushed against the surface, the tips of his fingers sunk into it, and the next thing that the departed realized, his whole world was sinking into darkness. The departed could hear a voice. I am the witch. It's getting foggy. Looks like it might rain. Maybe we should take a little break. You want to keep going? Oh, alright then. Thank you for the bun drink water, Edie. I'll have another sip. This deep in the forest? Thank you very much. You must be tired after such a long journey. This is the mansion I'm looking for, yes? He could have said something. Oh well. Should get going, I guess. Does no one live here? But if that's the case, then why was I... Such a big door. Please open. It's not locked, I guess. I wonder if the window's open. Darn, not a hint of light. Hello? Is anyone there? Please don't tell me it's actually abandoned. I suppose I can't know without looking around a bit more. What do we have here? Drapes? I see a little light beyond. It's so pretty. It looks like an angel. Why would someone cover this up? It's beautiful. With a little more light, it'd be...
Please do not touch the drapes. Or the window.
I'm sorry for coming in uninvited. But, I did announce myself. Is this, your mansion?
It is.
Thank goodness. I was afraid it was deserted.
I suspect you would have preferred it if the house were abandoned.
Oh, not at all. I would be scared to death staying in this dark mansion all by myself. Oh, I'm sorry. No ill will intended. But I do think it could do with some light. That way you could see where you were walking. And I'm sure this room would look splendid illuminated.
Not necessary. I may do perfectly well as things are.
How can you see when it's so dark?
I have an abundance of candles and oil for lamps. I am not in want for means of creating light. It is not your place to criticize my lifestyle. If you need light, you are free to leave. If you are in need of money, help yourself to some of the furniture. There's a village not far from here. Trade it for food, and make your way to a larger town.
I am no longer able to freely return to the city. Cannot go back there. Please, don't chase me out.
I see. And do you ask this if you're aware of how people refer to this mansion?
They say that a witch lives here.
Not merely a witch.
A cursed witch.
If you remain here, you too shall likely suffer your own destruction.
You're worried for my well-being? Witch or not, my mind is made up.
Which will strike you first? I wonder. Regret or the curse?
You seem to be doing just fine. It's only a tale.
The witch is real. Very much so. It is not a legend, nor a fairy tale. The witch.
The witch's name was Morgana.
Is me.
What was that? Giselle? Oh my! What is the matter, Master? Why are you just standing in place? There is nothing there. The maid did not seem to have seen anything. The departed maid to ask her about the scene he had just witnessed. Master, you look like you've just seen a ghost. What is the matter?
Distorted.
How about a little rest before we move on?
No.
You do not wish to remain here? Still not fond of mirrors?
Still.
Yes, yes. Now let us be off. I too dearly wish for your return. Oh, for you to return to your old self as soon as possible, Master. If your desire is to push onward, then I could hardly be happier. Now, follow me. The departed followed the maid's lead, returning to the living room. From there, he climbed a set of stairs, his hand sliding through the dust that settled on the ebony railing. When he stepped out of sight of the mirror, the maid returned to normal. The departed had been on the verge of remembering something, but he was no longer in a position to be concerned about such things, for the chill in the air within the mansion seemed to have intensified. This is brilliant. Do you have any idea how ridiculous you look right now? Trembling like a scared puppy. You feel like you're going to freeze. In its current state, your soul cannot bear the weight of the tragedies that have taken place here. So, go on, lose yourself. I'll be here to play with you.
That was not the maid's voice. She isn't speaking. Something is pressing down on my chest. It's almost suffocating.
Standing at the end of a long corridor, the departed asked the maid,
When was this mansion?
"When was this mansion built?" I would imagine you know more about that than me, Master.
I cannot remember. Not a thing.
Yes, I know. You have not yet regained your memories. Excuse me. I was simply teasing you. I have been a servant of this house for many, many years, but the truth is, I do not know everything about it. All I know is that the mansion is cursed, and that it has brought misfortune upon its residents since times of old. I can make a conjecture as to when it began, but I believe you should figure it out for yourself, Master. There is no guarantee my perspective is the correct one. Now, let us proceed. The departed and the maid traveled down the dimly lit corridor. While the layout of the house was the same as in the eras of the flaxen-haired boy and the beast, the bleak, colorless gloom felt incredibly dreary. On the wall partway down the hall hung a painting.
I feel like I recognize this painting.
The painting, which depicted a beautiful landscape, was oddly entrancing, but the departed did not have time to appreciate the artwork. His hand in the maid's, he passed by the painting. Before long, a door came into sight at the end of the hall. This door is what I would like to show you next, Master. Listen closely. Do you hear the voices? Lively but rough, energetic but coarse. What lies beyond this door is neither a period of elegance and abundance like the first, nor one of ruin and savagery like the second. Technology and culture had become quite developed. Cameras and photography had been invented. It was a time of great progress and many breakthroughs, and for that reason, those who lived in it were constantly seeking to try new things. The tale I'm about to tell you is one of a man who wagered everything on his ambitions. I hope that what you see, Master, will stir something in your heart.
Will this allow me to remember? to remember who I am.
Now, through the door we go. We call it here. Here, we call it nuts. We have made it through chapter 2. Wipes my sweat away. Wipes my profuse sweat away. And now we are at door 3. How did you guys find chapter 2? The ones who might have watched the first part or managed to stick around for all of this part? It really was. It was incredibly graphic in tale and also in visual at many moments. Silent, you're still here? Who's still here? I thought it was interesting. I also think it's interesting. I apologize once again for the nth time, because chapter 2 is one that I was very reluctant to read for its contents, and also for my inability to portray the shrill screaming that is constantly coming out of the beast's mouth. I guess not just his mouth, to be honest. But yeah. Ha! So kind. It is as it always is, I suppose. It asks for more than I can give, unfortunately. I would love to throw my bag and just scream into the corner of my room, but I'm pretty sure everyone in the surrounding houses would hear me. The common thread is the house, but it reminds me of Stephen King's Rose Red. I have not read that book. I do like some of Stephen King's work. I can't say that I enjoy everything he does, but I'm good at his craft, as is acknowledged. It's horrific. It is horrific, the things that happen in chapter 2. And from the way they're depicted, to the characters that are involved, to their terrible, terrible fates, every single one of them. I find the beast, or as we know him now, to be Yukimasa. I find his depiction, the writing of his character, to be really fascinating, and not the kind of character that you see typically in this sort of game, perhaps. The way that his violence, or I suppose violent tendencies and violent desires are portrayed, even though I think perhaps to a lot of people, the way he thinks and acts is just something that can't be identified with. I feel like that very writing, the fact that he's someone who you would probably need a level of psychosis to identify with, is what makes him a well-written character, or at least it gives a sense of dimension to him that goes beyond simply someone who kills others, or who harms others. And it's not to say that the side of him that he portrays to his lover, Pauline, is fake exactly, either. I'm not going to call myself a Yukimasa apologist, because I don't feel that way. I think that everything he's done to harm others is extremely wrong and extremely unpleasant, and he should be punished accordingly for all of his crimes. As a character, I find that going back and reading it through the second time, he became I think there was a sense of realness that his character had that was actually not present when I first read it. I was probably less shocked the first time I read this chapter than I am this time around. Apologies for being shocked right in the middle of stream, but thinking about, well, you know, if anything, the narrative of a person who doesn't identify as being one with the rest of society, or being neurotypical, I suppose, the way that can be explored. It's interesting. I think that these kind of characters, I think the reason why I feel so strongly about it is because these kind of characters can be really difficult to write well. They can be really difficult to make compelling, or to have people care about them despite the terrible things they keep doing. And it's not like, you know, it's not like, hey, he's a murderer and he gets baby girl treatment because he's a murderer. It's not quite like that. But I feel like sometimes that trope just pop up. I think he is despicable. I think he's despicable in a way that is kind of great. So I neither feel good nor bad about what happens to him, but it interests me and I find it compelling seeing what he goes through, what he thinks, and he's just misunderstood. That's right, guys, he's just misunderstood. You guys don't understand Yukimasa. He just needs a loving touch. Okay, I also have to put it out there, Pauline also has some screws loose. It's just that she is screws loose in an entirely different way. Oh, the situation is tragic. She's very shoujo protag. Oh, believe me, she's not. Actually, no. I think maybe you could say that about her. She definitely has some very shoujo protagonist qualities that make her part of the story to listen to and to play through. She's easy to read for, I think, Pauline. She's very... the things she's thinking and feeling, just out they come. So she's comparatively very transparent, especially compared to the shuttered other characters that we had. I want to try as much as possible to do justice in my Bunley struggles to these characters. Poor thing is right. Pauline's not perfect, but she didn't deserve that. No one did. And in the end, she was like, he just didn't like me anymore. You found another woman, you could have just let me know that I was dumped. And then I wouldn't have come so far to find you, to be slaughtered and brutally murdered. Yeah, I couldn't. Oh, it was sad just reading it once. You know? And she just wanted to hear him say her name. But at that moment in time, he didn't even know what it was. Isn't that sad? Anyway, it's... like, their tragedy is very sad. Like, I find that Pauline as a character, now that I'm reading this back a second time and I have understanding of the story, as a whole, I have some different perspectives on both her and Yukimasa. You can kind of sum them up to be like the very sunshiny, lovely girl whose boyfriend is quite nice and amicable on the surface, but he is deep down a bloodthirsty and murderous guy who would delight in the chance to execute someone for funsies. And, you know, he needs people around him like her to keep him sane. His tethers, his anchors, people who keep him rooted in reality instead of giving in to primal urges. I think it's interesting that his urges are always described as being like primal and innate somehow to him, because he's like a lot of psychopaths, very charming and full of risk. It's true that people can simply know how to charm others and smile and say the right words, and that's all they need to do. And he's full of riz, unlike Mel, which we established earlier. I think a lot about the story after reading Fata Morgana. I think it kind of just sort of lives in the back of my mind at times. So I have been pondering these characters after finishing the story, and I guess also now as I'm rereading it. Kept them from seeing reality. That's probably a good way to put it. Naturally, I don't want to spoil anything that happens, but seeing reality is probably a theme that is common between both Yukimasa and Pauline, is that neither are very good at it. And like this is acknowledged by Pauline in her chapter, right? It's like she's like, it's like I'm living in a fantasy, but I want to believe, and I think he must be out there, and part of me knows that he's died. I know that we've been at this for many hours, and the end, by the way, is nowhere in sight. Like we are not even close, not even remotely close. After we get through the first 3 chapters, I'm trying to think of whether or not I will continue, but we're in for a treat as well. Okay, the next chapter, at the very least, I can guarantee you I will be doing less murdering, and also less... Actually, no. I'll be doing less murdering, but I don't know if there'll be less anything else, which is sad, but, you know, just letting you know. Just letting you know. Everyone who comes in here, comes into the stream saying, oh, I really like this visual novel. Like, I get it. I really do. And I suppose part of me is now relieved that we have made it through chapter 2, because this is probably my most unfortunate attempt at reading. The contents of it are so fearful. Knowing the part where Yukimasa tortures the sea lad, tortures the seafarer by breaking his fingers. It's like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this on stream. I don't want to be out here reading this torture session. But I think about the rest of the chapter, and it's like, reading for a beast who slaughters others. Reading for a beast who slaughters other beasts. Reading for a beast who's threatening to slaughter a girl who can't see. Then reading for a girl who comes to a foreign land looking for her lover, and then reading for a girl who gets slaughtered by her lover in this foreign land. And then it's just hearing you go, no, really stop. It's not meant to be hilarious. It's not meant to be hilarious. It's meant to be sad and awful because it is. I can't help leaking the fact that I find this really sad and awful into the stream. It would be easier for me to keep character if I weren't playing everyone at the same time. If I had to just choose one character to play, or even like 2 or 3 characters to play, if I were able to hold that conversation, I probably wouldn't have to go through so much strife, and you guys wouldn't be subject to whatever it is that you have to listen to in these readings. But as a first-time enjoyer of this, okay. The tale is more or less described as a gothic-ish horror mystery. Well, not mystery, kind of mystery. It's gothic. And Silent, have you listened to the other installments? They're quite long, so there's a few of them. Well, everything about them is gothic, from the illustrations to the backgrounds to even the style of writing at times, I feel. If there's anything I can tell you though, it's that the story is not Lovecraftian. I think that despite the portrayal of a character like Yukimasa, who's like, I actually don't understand people. Like, even when I was a person, I didn't understand people and I wanted to kill people. I think that the house in Fata Morgana is a tale that appeals to the empathetic. It's meant to stir something in your heart. I listen to the VODs as my daytime work audio. That's very sweet of you to say. I wouldn't expect that of anyone. Definitely gothic, heavy on the tragedy. Heavy on the tragedy is right. I know that some people would disagree in saying that the characters are compelling, but I personally find the characters to be well written. Maybe that's just a difference of opinion, but I feel that way. And the characters to me are written in a way that makes me invested in them. But it's not for everyone. This tale is not for everyone. There is definitely a reason why it is regarded so highly, though. I think that at the very least, if you get to the end and you didn't exactly get along with the characters, at the very least you would have found the story to have been... probably will leave an impression. I'm grateful if you find my voice brings anything to the story, because I can't agree, but yeah, I'm sorry. I should either read it properly or I should not, but I can't quite juggle the difference, guys. Constantly in this state of I'm still experiencing the story just a second time in a new way, because now I have to read it. And I can't even read it properly part of the time. Like, there was a lot of moments, obviously, if you watch the video in chapter 2 where I was like, I'm not even gonna read this. I don't think I'm gonna read this. I'm not gonna do this laughter. I'm not gonna do this constant scrolling laughter. Like, he laughed a lot. Like, the times where he laughed and it kept scrolling and scrolling and scrolling onto the next page, like, that's not me. That's just automated. That's how long the laughter is. Like, I think it's more we experienced it. I'll do my best to keep this at a somewhat frequent update. The only reason I think I need to take a break is because I am a feeble human being. But even though I'm pretty frog-throated today, I hope that it is still interesting to listen to. Like, I don't want this to be you know, jikyo. I don't want this to be extremely saturated with bun commentary. Even though I suppose that we're doing a little bit of after talk now that we're through the first 2 chapters and we've seen a glimpse of something else. We saw a glimpse of 2 characters, which they will appear later. We will find out where this scene comes from, which is why I wanted to show it to you now. But well, thank you, Silent. I'm sorry. I am doing my best within the limits of a single narrator. I think, honestly, if you can just tell the difference between the characters, that is probably enough. But it's okay if you don't. I'm grateful if you stuck around to chat until the end. And I'm grateful if you decided, well, maybe I'll just watch the VOD, and then maybe I just actually won't watch the VOD, and I'll play the game myself. I'd be grateful for that too. Looking forward to learning more about the new characters. What do you think about those characters? Like, we didn't get to see Giselle, but we did get to see Michelle. So Michelle, he is... So his voice in the Japanese dub is... It's Sakurai. And he plays a lot of famous characters. I can't do that voice any justice. And maybe there'd be people who would argue that it doesn't exactly match him. But that is his given voice. If you need a point of reference. I like Giselle's energy. I really like Giselle's energy too. Giselle is, we'll meet her later. But she is, she has a kind of energy that a lot of the characters in the story don't have. Like maybe Nelly. Maybe Nelly has that kind of energy. But Giselle is quite spirited. Uh-huh. I'm sorry, I don't Grand Blue personally. Ethereal. Ethereal is right. He does, you know, he does have the look of, the way he stands and looks and is dressed is all a little bit... Giselle comes from some circumstances. We saw her at the beginning on some kind of wagon or something. On a journey over to the mansion. So she was someone who was brought to the mansion. I don't know. I think I might have to ponder how I'd like to play Giselle in the coming chapters. But I'm curious why she can't go back to the city. We'll find out soon, I'm sure. What day is it? It is Sunday. Right. Okay. When can I appear again? Well, I stream more or less at the same time. So I will try not to spring any super unexpected streams up. Unless, and I'll ask this to you guys, to the 5 of you who stayed, what you would think if instead of streaming the rest of this, I went on to streaming other content and I uploaded videos of this instead. Or I could continue to do this on stream and say hi to you at the end, etc., etc. I know there's a charm to being here for it live, because at the very least, if I'm doing this off stream and without being supervised, I could potentially stay in character more. But nodding. Look, it's a hard life, guys. It's a hard life. There's some really difficult conversations happening here. There's gonna be some pretty difficult conversations to be had in chapter 3 too, but personally prefer live and watch fun struggles. Okay. No, it's fine. No, I think it's true that even though it's nice to release videos, because ultimately when I'm reading, it's hard for me to turn away and interact and then go back. But struggles are part of the charm. Okay, well, I'm glad you love it so much when I'm having a difficult time with the script. Especially when I can't just fling back my head and scream to the microphone. Bun commentary. I don't know about that. I don't know if the bun commentary has any... I don't know if it adds anything to it. I just keep telling you, well, I like this story, and also please support the game, and also thanks for enduring me as I read the story. Every time. I think it adds a bit of dimension to know that I have something to say about the story as well. Perhaps. I guess also, since I'm speaking from the perspective of someone who has experienced the rest of the story, and also the accompanying story, Requiem for Innocence, I think I have a pretty good understanding of the story as a whole. So the things I'm saying are like not speculation, they're simply my thoughts about everything. And I will do my best not to give things away, anything more than necessary. But if you guys are curious about chapter 3, I will do my best to maybe appear in a couple of days. We'll see. I think I can probably do either a Tuesday, my Tuesday, so maybe a Monday, my Tuesday, or the following day. Yeah, I'm sure you can expect to see me in a couple of days. In fact, if I'm still alive, you may see me whenever I can pop in. But no, I understand. If you're invested in the story, you want to experience it more. But then, like, not everyone has the funds to throw towards like a 70-hour visual novel game, let alone has the time to play one. Like, when I was going through it, the last one was it was terrible. In fact, it was so terrible. Even I was shocked. I was re-shocked going through it at how brutal and cruel it was. Nodding. I definitely had to set aside some good time to read this the first time. Because there's no voices, it's not something you can easily put on auto in the background. So I understand that it's pretty difficult, you know. I'm certainly not the only person to do a House in Fata Morgana playthrough, though. Though the content is, you know, it's rough. So as long as you guys can weather things with me. I'm very invested. I'm glad, as you should be, as I hope you would be, because I think that... Hello! 3 hours in, I was about to wrap up. Hi Hannah, what's this game about? It's about misery and cruelty and the and the darkness of the human heart is what this is about. No jokes, actually no jokes. That is all it is about. But it is great. And I really enjoy it. And this past 3 hours I have spent reading some genuinely horrendous stuff. I feel quite sorry to everyone who's had to listen to me do it. But yeah, it's true. I hope it hasn't been too bad. No, it's horrific in an excellent way. It's not horrific as in it's bad. It's the game itself is great. It's just the game is also horrific. So if you do get into it, yes. Well, I apologize for my voice acting. He says it makes it better, but doubt. But I am reading it, so by at least reading it aloud, there will now be a record for those who maybe don't have the time / don't have the mental space to go through it themselves. So kind. Except for chapter 2. Chapter 2 is probably the biggest exception so far. So far, raises my finger. In terms of what I will read. Oh, it's bad. Oh, it's tough. No pressure as well to keep up. If there's anything I can say, it's that even though the first 3 chapters are important to the story, because they're all really different stories, you don't necessarily need to know what happens in the others if you want to continue on. Like, it helps if you do, but if you want to watch chapter 3, you can just experience chapter 3 as well. Really? Does it help because I'm speaking from the perspective of someone who enjoys this? As in someone who likes this game? Or... because I feel like when I'm reading this solo that I'm going slightly insane. Like, you were there in chapter 2. Struggle. Deep struggle, guys. Because it's fun. Goodness. It makes me think you almost trust Bun or something. What a mistake. Need Bun to handhold me through this? Alright. Very well. I'll be the maid. I'll be the maid who's here to be like, hey guys, I know you don't know anything, but we're here in this dilapidated, abandoned, extremely haunted old house, and I'm about to tell you some terrible stuff about the people who lived here. It's nice listening to talk about something you enjoy. I guess it's true that because I do a lot of reading videos that you guys don't get to talk to me that much anymore, but I am as much as always still around. So I appreciate that even though for something like this where stuff is happening on screen and there's not necessarily a lot to engage with, that you guys still make effort to type something in chat every few minutes so that you're letting me know that you're still around. Maid Bun handholds will inject limitless confidence. Okay, very well. It's not like Maid Bun doesn't exist, so. Oh, thank you, Hana. That's very kind of you. I hope that, at the very least, it is a voice that can be listened to for this game, because I think that this game deserves as much. Speaking back to the drama CDs, I mentioned that Sakurai was the voice for Michelle, but generally the cast that was chosen for this series consists of voice actors and voice actresses that I really like. I'm glad to receive a seal of approval. And if oh, thanks, Sai. I'm glad. I mean, there's no need, of course, to chat. There's no pressure to. I don't see how many people are here in the stream. Like that number doesn't come up anywhere for me. So I always stream completely unaware of who comes and who doesn't. And I know that there probably are people who come and lurk, which is great. I hope you have a good time. But of course, I appreciate it when you do have something to say about what's going on, just because I think it's fun. I don't think I'm very, or maybe as, knowledgeable about voice actors as much as before. It was mostly something I think I kept up with some years ago, so definitely a while back. But I know for the white-haired girl, the actress they cast is Noto, so Noto Mamiko. Hope that, did I remember her name right? She's very, it's very soft. Soft and innocent sounding. I also really like the voice actress they cast for Morgana, who we won't see for a while because she's the witch. I'm sure we'll meet her later, but she has a great way of playing Morgana. I don't know if I'll be able to do that any justice either. Clenches my fist. My lack of ability, and also my not maleness. Not male enough, I gotta tell you. Will be patient. Thank you for your patience. I think that's all I can say. Thank you for your patience. Yeah, if only I was male, guys. If only. How convenient it would be to play Rampaging Beast. It do be like that, though. Trying to think of who else was on the cast that I liked. You come off as handsome with your male voice. Ah, thanks. I'll take handsome. I think I just sound handsome normally anyway. Handsome bun voice. Actually, you know, I would appreciate being handsome. Sighs dreamily. But enough with the extra talk. Next time, which at this rate will definitely be another Fata Morgana stream. That's right, bun cool. Next time I will be going into the third door. So we are just about to do that. And through that third door, we're going to meet a different character with a very different personality to who we've seen so far. And they come from, as the maid mentioned, like a more advanced time. So they'll be, you know, there'll just be a totally different feel to it. And it might seem pretty jarring, as maybe even chapter 2 is pretty jarring. But I hope that you will find it interesting. I dare say I like chapter 2 more than chapter 3. Like, this is my personal feeling, despite absolutely feeling entirely dreadful trying to read it and being filled with apprehension at the thought of reading this on stream. Chapter 2 to me is better than chapter 3, but that is just my personal feeling. And, you know, perhaps when we get to the end of chapter 3 we can once again have this talk, and you guys can let me know how you felt about it as well. Nodding. Chapter 2 was so intense. Does one have a favorite chapter? I do. And if if I have the strength, every chapter feels intense when there is I don't know if that's good or bad. I'm gonna hope that that's a good thing. A later chapter. Yeah. There is a chapter where we get to see the characters in like quite a different light, and it sheds a lot of insight into why they became the way they are. And it was so interesting to me. I remember being awake at like 2 a.m. reading this chapter and thinking, I can't sleep until I have finished reading this. I cannot sleep. And I feel like that is it is probably indicative of a good story or of an obsessive personality. Perhaps a bit of both. But it's not any of the first 3 doors, even though the first 3 doors are interesting. I think it'd be great if we got that far. I can't make any guarantees, but if people do keep enjoying the series, and if no one tells me to, you know, be quiet and stop playing this terrible tragic game, then I will do my best to continue. I'm so sorry, because I know I keep saying this about several projects, and they get dropped eventually because I am too weak to continue. But for now, I am still strong, so you will see me again, and we'll make it through. Nodding. I will have strength. Nods. Thank you for your support. In that case, I will release you guys back to the wild. I'm sure you will see me again. Until then, wish you a good evening, wonderful night. See you soon.